Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem and invocation. Color Guard, parade the colors. Color Guard, retire the colors. Chaplain Girolamo, Commander, United States Navy, will now deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we thank you for the privilege of celebrating the commencement of these men and women today as they graduate from Naval Postgraduate School. You have sustained them over the course of their rigorous studies, the multiplicity of methods you have employed to impart knowledge, as well as the mentorship opportunities given to them through their faculty and advisors. For some, their time here at NPS has been challenging, personally and/or professionally. For others, this has been a welcome break from a demanding up-tempo. However, by your grace, they are all here ready to enjoy the fruit of their labor. So now as they prepare to receive their rightful diplomas and take on what lies ahead in their new jobs, whether in CONUS or abroad, we ask that you would graciously bless them and keep them. As you have strengthened them for the challenge here, give them assurance that you will do the same in the days ahead. For those of us who remain and carry on the work here at NPS, give us grace to follow the example they have set by continuing to pursue excellence in every endeavor. We honor them and their milestone today and praise you for the opportunity of this treasured time together. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Naval Postgraduate School's Fall Quarter graduation. The men and women sharing the stage with President Rondeau and Provost Lehrman are the deans of our various schools, distinguished professors, U.S. government officials, and our local area military leadership. They have all been deeply involved in the education of today's graduates. I am honored to introduce our President, Vice Admiral Anne Rondeau, United States Navy retired.
Well, and a very good morning. You know, we always celebrate this wonderful day where we get a chance to acknowledge excellence in families and friends. But the December graduation seems to be one that has a special kind of uplifting joy. So we do welcome all of you here, our distinguished guests, faculty and staff, family, friends, and soon-to-be graduates. Welcome to our fall quarter graduation ceremony. This event is a celebration of individual commitment and persistence and perseverance and personal accomplishment. We are here today along with family and friends and our faculty who are so dedicated to this mission to express our pride in our students' academic achievements. First, I want to acknowledge the faculty and the staff, both military and civilian, who really work so hard to achieve the challenging learning environment that provides our students with such a very prestigious education. I also want to acknowledge those who are supportive of our students in various other ways. And in that tone, also I want to welcome our naval attachés from the Kingdom of the Netherlands, from Taiwan and Australia. Very, very happy to have them here as well as the families and the friends. Second, I want to thank all of the family members and friends of our graduates who have been so patient and so interested and engaged with their loved ones through long hours of studying in pursuit of academic goals. This is truly work, and we are very grateful to all of you who have supported these great students. This support is critical to these students being here this morning. As well, I would like to recognize and thank our Naval Postgraduate Foundation and our board for their continued support of our institution in providing us with a margin of excellence that is so important to our success and our students' experiences here. Today, we gratefully acknowledge the faculty and staff whose dedication to each student has made this graduation possible. You truly are a world-class and amazing team. Your passion for teaching and commitment to this institution are greatly appreciated by me, but by all of us, by everyone present, and by our Navy and our Marine Corps and our nation. While we honor our graduates and faculty who helped them get to where we are today, we must also recognize again their families and their friends. The importance of their love, support, and sacrifice cannot be overstated. Thank you for taking this time to be with us, especially those of you who have traveled some distance to be here. And as I thank everybody, I want to also thank the Del Monte brass. For those of you who do not know us well, the brass is made up of staff, faculty, and just people who love to play music. They are volunteers, but they're part of the culture here and what we call our entire community of folks who care about us. So I want to thank the great folks there and the volunteers in the brass. Thank you. To our graduates, to you, this day is about you. And we're so proud of your success and so much believing in your abilities now to further contribute in every way. We have immersed you in an extremely competitive academic environment that has enabled you to focus on the challenges that affect your service, our defense capabilities, and our national security and our global security. It is upon you that the promise of the profession of safety in the global commons is certainly rested and is entrusted. So, it is our commitment to you that makes us even alive, and it is the blood in our bodies and that makes us want to do more for you and for our nation and for our globe every day. It is our commitment that your NPS education will provide you the foundation upon which the rest of your careers and lifelong learning are built. So today, we have a guest speaker, Vice Admiral White. If you will open up your programs to his bio, I'm not going to read it, but I want to point out a couple of important things. One is that Admiral White is certainly a warfighter, but look at the fact that he went to the Naval Academy, and where he got his bachelor's in mechanical engineering. Then he went to Naval Postgraduate School and got his Master of Science in Systems Technology. Then he went to the National Defense University to study there. And of course, then he went to MIT. This is a man and a leader for whom education has mattered deeply. And for those of you who wondered what in the world did he do, his dissertation on his thesis on while he was here, it is a very interesting topic. Human factors and intuition in the command and control environment and systems. In short, how do you trust your gut? That's a leader question. Because as we go about the business of learning about cyber and data, and about all of the science and the technology that we learn here, it's important for a leader to, in the end, trust their instincts and trust their gut. So he has become now also one of our great minds of our Navy, a man who is leading Navy cyber and 10th Fleet. He's a man who understands cyber, but he understands the human being, and most importantly, he understands how to lead to make a difference. This is a man to hear and to learn from. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Vice Admiral T.J. White.
Well, good morning, and it is a distinct pleasure to be here. Admiral Rondeau, thank you very much for the warm introduction. I think only my mother will believe all those things, but that's good. Students, faculty, family, guests, members of the fall graduating class, it's an honor to be here with you and to speak today. I left the East Coast yesterday. It was 23 degrees, cold, dreary. It's much more pleasant and beautiful here. Hey, during your time at the Naval Postgraduate School, you've had the opportunity to delve deeply into challenging national security issues during a wide variety of degree programs. Masters of Arts, Science, Business Administration, or doctorate, you have reason to be proud of this tremendous accomplishment. You represent the best our nation, our allies, and our partner nations have to offer, with graduates from the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard, active, reserve, civilian, American, and international, representing 21 of our allies and partner nations across 6 continents. Nations rely on educated leaders to enable mission success and positive outcomes. We exist in a modern era which is inextricably bound to and by technology. And in this regard, we are constrained by maths and science. Ships need to float and maneuver. Planes need to not fall out of the sky. Networks need to connect so that we can communicate at distance. And in the arts and humanities, we exert creativity so that we can move beyond limits. This is where people, ideas, obligations, and duty intersect, and both contribute creative thinking for necessary innovation and critical thinking for problem discovery and solving. Earlier in my career, it was my honor and great privilege to attend this fine institution, and I have many memories and lifelong friends as a result, as will you. And I will also say, taking a moment, this is also where I first became acquainted with and was taught by Captain Wayne Hughes, a lifelong learner and mentor. He was the best of us and our naval service. A true gentleman, a superb commander, and an exceptional mentor. He made us better. 10 years ago, I read a book titled The Next 100 Years, a forecast for the 21st century. And it speculated on what our world might look like at the end of this, the 21st century. And it's not about whether it was right or wrong or accurate or not. It was a compelling idea at great risk to the author to invite himself and us to contemplate a future that was very far away. Today's change is faster, and tomorrow's is going to increase. The world is getting smaller. The human race is taking more space. And humanity is more connected by technology and with technology. So Dr. Friedman highlighted this challenge through the eyes of those living in the 20th century. 1900, who could have imagined how the rapid evolution of weaponry and the inability for strategy to keep pace would result in World War I? And for those who lived to see 1920, who among them had the foresight to predict the same belligerents and others would find themselves mired in an even larger global conflagration within 20 years? And in 1940, who was thinking that Stalin's Soviet Union would launch a space race in 1957? And in 1960, who imagined one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, moonshot, or the creation of the internet? And who in 1980 imagined the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Iron Curtain by 1990? And who in 2000 saw 9/11 and the searing impact it would have on the international landscape? And so as we approach 2020, much less the end of the century, what are we not imagining? In my view, the main thing that your time in Monterey enables, that we expect and need you to do, is integrate the vision to imagine next with the ability and the resiliency to handle the next surprise, whenever it occurs over the horizon in possibly uncharted waters, and to meet and embrace these technology and trust challenges. So whatever the future, I believe a positive foundation is an educated population. Security and prosperity will require a literate, numerate citizenry and leaders. That would be you. Today's investment in your education is essential to the competition we face in the years ahead. And so to that end, I am thrilled to see more than 180 of our officers in the Navy's information warfare community enrolled here at the Naval Postgraduate School. And I applaud the Naval Postgraduate School's push to increase the number of graduates pursuing STEM degrees, regardless of warfare community or prior non-STEM bachelor degrees. Technical expertise among our warfighters and thinkers and policymakers is only becoming more crucial with the development of sophisticated warfighting technologies. And we need both the arts and the sciences to protect information trust and to promote information quality. During the course of my career, I've seen our military shift from the Cold War to peacekeeping, to countering terrorism and violent extremism, then shift again as crises in the Ukraine, tensions in the South China Sea, and changing Arctic conditions signal a seismic shift in the global security posture. But more than our military posture has changed, we have changed in how we communicate with each other, in how we interact nationally and internationally. Our best educated scientists revolutionized communications in the creation of the internet, and today, the internet is revolutionizing our means of exchanging ideas on a global scale in real time. The openness of the Internet and its vulnerabilities play a crucial role in great power competition 2.0, with rising and revanchist states compromising international norms and threatening regional stability. And as we have seen, information is every bit as open to weaponization and vulnerable to abuse as any other technical revolution. This great power competition is a challenge between different visions for the future, between democracies and authoritarian regimes, between positive sum-gain approaches, where a rising tide lifts all boats, and zero-sum gain, where there must be a loser, between freedom of navigation, access to markets and ideas, and one of coercive constraint. If change is coming over the next several decades, and it is, then change, in my view, ought to come more from within the international commons than without. And it will be vital for us to avoid misunderstandings that lead to miscalculation that could escalate to conflict. And we have seen in recent years an increase in cross-border incursions and interference in territorial sovereignty, coupled with sophisticated information operations and active measures seeking to undermine domestic dialogue and to subvert democratic processes. A better educated population and leaders with resilient partnerships will be better equipped when challenged by adversary gray zone activity. Cyberspace was global before it was public. It is now a key arena in the strategic space below the threshold of armed conflict, offering new means of influence, coercion, and exploitation that allow adversaries to gain strategic advantage without resorting to physical aggression. And any number of actors are subverting, disrupting, and diffusing long-standing international norms. They are engaging in intellectual property theft at scale. Through targeted investment in emerging technologies, government-affiliated or state-owned enterprises are using legal, overt behavior to supplant market advantage in the next wave of technological development. Others are geostrategic agitators employing disruptive campaigns to undermine the sources of global stability, delegitimize democratic institutions, sow discord in society through open source manipulation of political discourse and social media, and undermine alliance cohesion. Simply, they are engaged in strategic cyber behavior with the intent to alter the overall international distribution of power. They view cyberspace as a new scene in great power competition through which they can gain greater global influence without engaging in conflict or setting foot on another soil. So why is this significant? Because historically, to undermine a state's power required territorially focused, overt, violent, armed attack, or physical invasion. Now, adversaries are persistently active in cyberspace, and most significantly, the costs are cumulative. Each intrusion, hack, or technical action may not be strategically consequential on its own, but the total compounding costs are tantamount to what in generations past required war. Adversaries deliberately act below these internationally accepted thresholds to minimize risk to themselves while reaping the gains of their cumulative cyber behavior. Today's security environment merits a different approach. Strategic frameworks must align to these realities and the reality of strategic environments. You can't impose a strategy on a strategic environment. You need to derive strategy from it. And the unique characteristics of cyberspace are interconnectedness and constant contact. And this combination induces an imperative for persistent action. And this is a deliberate shift from a response force to a persistence force. And the emphasis on persistence acknowledges that we will not degrade our adversaries with a single strike, nor will they retreat when they first face friction, and nor should we. The emphasis on engagement recognizes that we must challenge our adversaries today in order to be ready tomorrow. And persistent engagement involves enabling and acting. Cyber forces enable interagency, international, and private sector partners by sharing threat indicators and personnel, by providing warning and generating insight. And cyber forces act when authorized for a range of missions, defensive and offensive. And so to do differently, we will need to talk differently in order to achieve common understanding regarding this logic of persistence. We need to think and talk in terms of campaigns, not isolated incidents, separate intrusions, or unique hacks. We need to talk in terms of interaction, not escalation, initiative, not restraint nor response. Activity in this space and domain is continuous. It is not episodic. And the costs and benefits are cumulative and compounding. They are not event-based nor discrete. Now, our adversaries face challenges. In many cases, they are brittle authoritarian regimes that must spend extensive resources on internal political control. At the same time, we have challenges as well. We are inclined toward segmentation in authorities and legacy bureaucratic structures, where illiberal regimes move more seamlessly to integrate all instruments of national power. Private ownership and our laws, policies, and authorities constrain us, while state ownership and control enables our adversaries. We observe boundaries between public and private, foreign and domestic, as we should, but our adversaries operate freely across cyberspace without self-imposed artificial boundaries. And finally, the United States government observes extensive constraints on collection and use of data, which we should. But this puts us at a great disadvantage because, as we all know, data has become a key strategic resource in the 21st century. So what is to be done? What will you, new leaders, with your enhanced and excellent education do? Well, first start, I believe that you should lead. Pivot from an IT mindset where networks are the job of the IT professionals to administer to an operational campaign framework. You are all future commanders. This should be your business. Second, we should all understand what is cyber unique. The terrain is malleable. It is continuously constructed. Sovereignty is ambiguous. There is no international agreement on well-defined fixed boundaries, and this means there are no unambiguous thresholds. Attribution is more difficult, but it's not impossible. And just like in the physical domains, in cyberspace, we do reconnaissance. We do operational preparation of the environment. We target. We maneuver. Third, speed and agility will be the primary driver of success. Adapting old processes to be faster won't be sufficient. We must invent new models suited to constant change and innovation. You are uniquely postured to lead this, to drive this, to implement this. And fourth, talent curation. And this is you. We need to develop ways for people to move across the public-private divide at scale. Partnerships that span all levels of government, private sector, academia, and allies. So the key question is, are we in this to prevail or to merely survive? An ideological conflict is underway because we want to guarantee an open and free information space while our adversaries are opposed to this. So as before in our shared history, today's great power competition will be won through cooperation and cumulative compounding effects. Before, it was containment. Going forward, it ought be transparency. It can only be won with trusted information as the backbone. And this last point represents a sea change in how we view cyber operations, and cyberspace, and how we, you, as 21st century warfighters, take information warfare every bit as seriously as any other element of national power. Well, I hope I've given you some worthwhile ideas to ponder during this one final lecture before you collect your well-earned diplomas. When you move on to your next assignments following graduation, please put this tremendous education to use in the service of your staffs, the support of your commanders, and the defense of your nations. What you bring to the fight in strategic thinking and analysis and problem solving is both relevant and essential to the triumph of free societies in this era of renewed great power competition. I leave you thus with this charge. Take your education back to the fleet and pursue change in our Navy with vigor. Have the fortitude to inspire and act, and at every turn, fight and beat the bureaucracy. Congratulations to you and your families, and thanks again for the opportunity to speak with you today.
I invite President Rondeau, Provost Lehrman, and Vice Admiral White forward for presentation of Distinguished Professor Award, conferring of the PhDs and graduate candidates.
Thank you.
President Rondeau, Provost Lehrman, and Vice Admiral White will now present the Distinguished Professor Award. Will the recipient of the Distinguished Professor Award please stand and proceed to the platform?
This year, Professors Oleg Yakomenko and Philip Pace were named NPS Distinguished Professors. Professor Yakomenko was given the medal acknowledging his recognition at our last graduation, but Professor Pace was unfortunately unable to attend. I now invite Professor Philip E. Pace from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering to come forward to receive his medal. NPS confers the title of Distinguished Professor upon Philip E. Pace for his development of tactical low probability of intercept, or LPI, radar systems theory, his contributions to signal processing, and his experiments on how to evade hostile interception. He also realized that intercept devices had to be developed to outsmart enemy LPI radar, and that these devices needed to be able to receive and interpret new types of radar signals. To facilitate this radar intercept study, Dr. Pace was the first to assemble a set of modern software tools to design LPS radar. He also created tools to design and evaluate novel digital receiver processors and strategies to defeat LPI radar. His extensive work was captured in his monumental sole-authored textbook, Detecting and Classifying Low Probability of Intercept Radar, now in its second edition. This textbook is widely recognized as the single most authoritative and extensively used resource on this subject. Professor Pace received the prestigious AOC Academic Training International Award for, and I quote, exceptional performance teaching and developing electronic warfare educational programs with cutting-edge technology, remarkable research productivity, and scholarly publications. He's a technical editor for the IEEE Transactions on Aerospace and Electronic Systems, a life member of the AOC, and a fellow of the IEEE.
Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy please stand and proceed to the platform?
Will Navy Lieutenant Commander Scott Lord from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, the candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering, please cross the stage? The title of Lieutenant Commander Lord's dissertation is Millimeter Wave Physical Layer Authentication with Planar Reflectors. Lieutenant Commander Lord's dissertation advisors are Professor John Roth and Professor John McEachin from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Lieutenant Commander Lord investigated the use of signal distortion in fifth-generation wireless communications as a type of fingerprint to verify the claimed identity of users. Properly authenticating users in a communication network is a critical aspect of a robust cyber defense system. He identified fundamental features in the underlying statistics of communications at fifth-generation frequencies and established methods to use such phenomena to authenticate users' identities. Further, he characterized the extent to which knowledge of nearby reflective surfaces could be leveraged to predict features in the signal distortion, which in turn could be used to verify the claimed location of various users. President Rondeau, I present to you Lieutenant Commander Lord. He has completed all requirements prescribed by the faculty and is recommended for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Electrical Engineering.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Will Mr. Yaroma Didashuk, the candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering, please cross the stage? The title of Mr. Didashuk's dissertation is Updated Approach to Shock Failure Assessment of Shipboard Equipment. Mr. Didashuk's dissertation advisor is Distinguished Professor Young Kwan from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Mr. Didashuk's research focused on the reduction of uncertainty associated with the testing and approval of shipboard equipment in shock testing. He developed finite element models of component failures that incorporated the peak velocity and the maximum change in displacement of critical components. These results led to the development of an updated shock failure assessment approach. His work provides a means to improve shock qualification testing when compared to currently implemented visual inspection methods. President Rondeau, I present to you Mr. Didashuk. He has completed all requirements prescribed by the faculty and is recommended for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering.
By the authority invested in me, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Will Taiwan Navy Lieutenant Commander Tsu Wei Tan from the Department of Physics, the candidate for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering Acoustics, please cross the stage? The title of Lieutenant Commander Tan's dissertation is Application of Acoustic Noise Interferometry to remote sensing of a coastal ocean. Lieutenant Commander Tan's dissertation advisors are Professor Oleg Godin and Professor Ken Smith from the Department of Physics. Lieutenant Commander's research, sponsored by the National Science Foundation and the Office of Naval Research, and reported in 3 papers in leading peer-reviewed journals, used ambient noise in the ocean to probe the water column and the seabed and measure their physical properties. Results of this work will lead to a cost-effective and environmentally friendly technique for mapping acoustic properties of the seabed on the continental shelf, and will also allow passive surreptitious acoustic characterization of the seafloor in contested areas. President Rondeau, I present to you Lieutenant Commander Tan. He has completed all requirements prescribed by the faculty and is recommended for the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering Acoustics.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts, Master of Science, and Master of Business Administration please stand?
President Rondeau, it's my honor to present to you these candidates. After consideration of their academic accomplishments, the Academic Council will recommend them for the degree Master of Arts, Master of Science, and Master of Business Administration as specified.
Upon the recommendation of the Academic Council, I will, by the authority vested in me, confer upon them the degree Master of Arts, Master of Science, and Master of Business Administration as specified, with the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Will the first row of candidates please proceed to the platform? Remaining candidates, please be seated. Of this quarter's total 397 graduating class, 175 have also earned their Command and Staff Diploma from the Joint Professional Military Education Program sponsored by the Naval War College. That's twice. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Middle East, South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, Captain Nicholas Buddha, United States Marine Corps. Lieutenant Christina Gaddy, United States Navy. Perfect. Major Andrew Bergman, United States Air Force. Major Paul Dragnich, United States Air Force. Graduating with distinction, Major Matthew Hall, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Foreign Area Officer Association Award for Excellence in International Affairs and graduating with distinction, Major John Mahaney, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Curtis Reiner, United States Navy. Captain Richard Mason, United States Air Force. Major Nicole Robillard, United States Air Force. Major Adriel Shanehalls, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Outstanding United States Air Force Graduate Award, Department of National Security Affairs, graduating with distinction, Major Michael Scarda, United States Air Force. Major David Snyder, United States Air Force. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Far East, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific, Lieutenant Commander Daniel Cho, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Stephen Choi, United States Navy. Lieutenant Chris Layla, United States Navy. Major Clark Morgan, United States Air Force. Major Walter Newman, United States Air Force. Graduating with an outstanding thesis, Captain Jessica Padamthantawike, United States Air Force. Major Jonathan Rogers, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Naval Postgraduate School Superior Service Award, Captain Jessica Sung-Meni Wong, United States Air Force. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Western Hemisphere, Lieutenant Anthony Miko, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Daniel Slott, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction, Major Andrew Barrier, United States Air Force. Major Richard Elmore III, United States Air Force. Major Justin Gibbons, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Outstanding United States Air Force Graduate Award, Department of National Security Affairs, graduating with distinction, Major Justin Haufa, United States Air Force. Major Matthew Pate, United States Air Force. Captain Kelsey Picciuto, United States Air Force. Major Francisco Rico Silva, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Liskin Award for Excellence in Regional or Security Studies, graduating with distinction, Major Lacey Thompson, United States Air Force. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Europe and Asia. The recipient of the Naval Postgraduate School Outstanding Academic Achievement Award for International Students, graduating with distinction and with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Colonel General Staff Enric Amigo, Swiss Air Force. Captain Brian Davis, United States Air Force. Major Nicholas Velati, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Pankaj Rawal, Nepali Army. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Strategic Studies, and the recipient of the International Student Award for Excellence in Regional or Security Studies, Major Junmo Yang, Republic of Korea Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Batbayar Kadbatar, Ministry of Defense of Mongolia. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Homeland Security and Defense, Lieutenant Heriberto Cruz, United States Navy. Lieutenant Junior Grade Ricardo Figueroa Ibarra, Mexican Navy. Lieutenant Casey Mastronardi, United States Navy. Graduating with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Michael Chavone, United States Navy. Lieutenant Noah Valero, United States Navy. Major Brian Barry, United States Air Force. Captain Robert Hudspeth, United States Air Force. Captain Andrew Metz, United States Air Force. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Combating Terrorism, Policy and Strategy, Major Julian Echeverri, Colombian Army. The recipient of the International Student Award for Excellence in Regional or Security Studies, Lieutenant Commander Konstantinos Kokalis, Hellenic Navy. Master of Arts in Security Studies, Homeland Security and Defense, Field Office Director Wilhelm Biermann, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, Dallas, Texas. Resident Agent in Charge, Sean Bradstreet, United States Secret Service, San Jose, California. Ms. Marie Claire Brown, District of Columbia, Department of Health, Washington, D.C. The recipient of the Curtis H. Butch Straub Achievement Award, graduating with distinction and with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Gary Cummings, Garland Police Department, Texas. Assistant to the Special Agent in Charge, Roy Dotson, United States Secret Service. Superintendent Christine Elo, Cambridge Police Department, Massachusetts. With an outstanding thesis, Captain Scott Fenton, Monterey County Regional Fire District, California. Ms. Daisy Garza, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Ms. Amy Gillespie, Pierce County Emergency Management, Washington. Mrs. Kimberly Hayward Buys, Federal Emergency Management Agency, Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Matthew Heckard, Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs. Assistant Fire Chief Joseph Hillhouse, Gainesville Fire Rescue, Florida. Lieutenant Jason Knight, Oklahoma City Police Department, Office of Emergency Management. Mr. Patrick Liston, Transportation Security Administration, Arlington, Virginia. Lieutenant Donald Lowenthal, Jr., Philadelphia Police Department, Pennsylvania. Detective Marion Makins, Charleston County Sheriff's Office, South Carolina. Ms. Monica Molly, Transportation Security Administration, Hawaii. Captain Tyler McCoy, City of Dayton Fire Department, Ohio. Lieutenant Ryan Monahan, San Mateo Police Department, California. District Chief David O'Neill, Akron Fire Department, Ohio. Mr. Maximilian Pfaffiger, Transportation Security Administration, Reston, Virginia. Captain Mimi Frogner, Miami Beach Police Department, Florida. Lieutenant Gene Ryerson, New York City Police Department. Firefighter, paramedic Thomas Simons, Salt Lake City Fire Department, Salt Lake City, Utah. Operations Officer John Stein, United States Border Patrol, Tucson, Arizona. Mr. Eric Thompson, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, Lee's Summit, Missouri. Supervisory Federal Air Marshal Suk-Hoon Yi, Transportation Security Administration, South San Francisco, California. Master of Science in Astronautical Engineering, the recipient of the Space Systems Engineering Award for Academic Excellence, graduating with distinction and with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Alexa Rizzo, United States Navy. The recipient of the Astronaut Michael J. Smith and Astronaut William C. McCool Astronautics Award, graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Brendan Smirsky, United States Navy. Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, graduating with distinction and with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Justin Ladisaw, United States Navy. The recipient of the Naval Sea Systems Command Award in Naval Mechanical Engineering, graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Kathy Mann, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Richard McLean, United States Navy. Lieutenant Josh Ricks, United States Navy. Lieutenant Dustin Shelley, United States Navy. Master of Science in Space Systems Operations, graduating with an outstanding thesis, Major Michael Ryan, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Jordan Michelle Johnson, United States Navy. Lieutenant Albert Jr. Mendez, United States Navy. Master of Science in Systems Engineering, Lieutenant Nicholas Bailey, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Austin Gallia Fleming, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Elizabeth Geis, United States Navy. Lieutenant Christopher Gerard, United States Navy. Lieutenant Benjamin William Rathwell, United States Navy. Master of Science in Systems Engineering Management, graduating with distinction, Major Samuel Al-Bahari, United States Army. Major Ronnie Bush, United States Army. Captain Shiloh Carlos, United States Army. Major Earl Dean, United States Army. Major Steve De Leon, United States Army. Major Travers Doan, United States Army. Major Julio Fernandez, United States Army. Captain Andrew Scott Hines, United States Army. Major David Hunter, United States Army. Captain Kimberly Janisek, United States Army. Major Michael Key, United States Army. Captain Eric Kim, United States Army. Major Reuben Barry McCurdy, United States Army. Major Amy Ann Miranda, United States Army. Major Matthew Miskowski, United States Army. Captain Steve Nazar, United States Army. Major Ricardo Phillips, United States Army. Major Thomas Lincoln Powers, United States Army. Master of Science in Systems Engineering, Ms. Cynthia Elizabeth Bodner, Program Executive Office, Land Systems. Mr. Wilvin Crawford, Naval Sea Systems Command. Mr. Mark Edward Dembinski, Strategic Systems Programs. Mr. Uriel Diaz, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme Division. Mr. Christopher Dominic Fava, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme Division. Major Marian Jan Revereza Amore, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme Division. Mr. Alan Vartan Caspian, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme. Mr. Wade Ketterling, Naval Undersea Warfare Center, Keyport Division. Mr. Charles William Logan, Strategic Systems Programs. Mr. J. Refugio Marquez de Alba, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme. Mr. Victor Marte, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme. Mr. Mantam Wynn, Naval Facilities Engineering, Expeditionary Warfare Center. The recipient of the Meyer Award for Outstanding Student in Systems Engineering Distance Learning, Ms. Alma Rosa Rubalcava, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme. Ms. Sarah Ann Stewart, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Dahlgren Division. Master of Science in Engineering Systems, Mrs. Jennifer Elaine Clift, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Dahlgren. The recipient of the Meyer Award for Outstanding Student in Systems Engineering Distance Learning, Mr. Todd Andrew Driscoll, Strategic Systems Programs. Mr. Juan Carlos Gordillo, Naval Surface Warfare Center, Port Hueneme. Master of Science in Operations Research, the recipient of the Chief of Naval Operations Award for Excellence in Operations Research and with an outstanding thesis, Major Kevin Militar Wheeler, United States Marine Corps. Major Alexander Grauman, German Army. Captain Dominic Villa, German Army. Ensign Spencer Edgervik, United States Navy. Ensign Richard Joseph Hicks, United States Navy. The recipient of the 2019 Kiwanis Club of Monterey International Student of the Year Award, graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Commander Shu Chang Liu, Taiwan Navy. The recipient of the Military Operations Research Society Stephen A. Tisdale Graduate Research Award and graduating with an outstanding thesis, Ensign Malia Meditz, United States Navy. Lieutenant Kang Kim Pham, United States Navy. Lieutenant Ku Wei Yao, Taiwan Navy. Master of Science in Information Strategy and Political Warfare, Major Daniel Anthony Abaldo, United States Army. Major David Cuneo Burris, United States Army. Captain Christopher Leo Conklin, United States Army. Major Robert Anthony Combs, United States Army. Major Michael Terrence Culligan, United States Army. Major Isaac Gregory, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Philip Anthony Riglick, United States Army. Major Eric Rostello, United States Army. Major Benjamin Vogelsong, United States Army. Major Tricia Elizabeth Wyman, United States Army. Major Joseph Paul Zorak II, United States Army. The recipient of the 2019 Kiwanis Club of Monterey International Student of the Year Award, Lieutenant Commander Kate Pisani, Royal Australian Navy. Master of Science in Defense Analysis with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Colonel Tri Yuda Ismanto, Indonesian Marine Corps. Major Rebecca Louise Nelson, United States Army. Major Jonas Van Hoeren, Dutch Royal Netherlands Marine Corps. Major Van Hoeren is also graduating with distinction. Major Dale Abisher, United States Army. Major Jeffrey Francis Andriliunas, United States Army. Major Jonathan Baker, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major William Edward Burke, United States Army. Major Brian Christopher Searcy, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Travis Dan Clemens, United States Army. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Major Brandon Davis, United States Army. The recipient of the Pat Tillman Leadership Award, Major Michael Vincent DePetro, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Timothy Denny Donahue, United States Army. Major Mark Allen Donovan, United States Army. Major Jonathan Nathaniel Fagans, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Eric Geiger, United States Army. Major Stephen John Ganos, United States Army. Major John Paul Goman, United States Army. Major Terrence Green, United States Army. Major John Joseph Griffin, United States Army. Major Christopher James Haverly, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major David Herman, United States Army. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Major Michael Hitzner, United States Army. Colonel Mario de Leon Jacinto, Philippine Army. Major Jason Durand Johnson, United States Army. Major Nolan Johnson, United States Army. Major Jeremy John LaFontaine, United States Army. The recipient of the Association of the United States Army General Joseph W. Stilwell Chapter Award for Outstanding Army Student and with an outstanding thesis, Major Kevin Edward Lee, United States Army. Major Austin Liu, United States Army. Major James Arthur Makey, United States Army. Major Eric Mann, United States Army. Major Andrew Joseph McKinley, United States Army. Major Jonathan Melenik, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Joshua Thomas Nolan, United States Army. Major Justin Vincent Padua, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major Youngmin Park, United States Army. Major Alexander J. Pombar, United States Army. Graduating with distinction, Major Andrew Charles Rockwood, United States Army. Major Maximilian Linus Soto, United States Army. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Colonel Ole Stefan, German Army. Major Kevin Skiles Sweet, United States Army. Major Christopher William Tuning, United States Army. Major Anthony Ventura Vargas, United States Army. Captain Peter Georgiev Valhov, Bulgarian Army. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Major Stephen James Wax, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Major William Garrett Whitaker, United States Army. Major Wesley Wiblin, United States Army. Major Brian Wright, United States Army. Captain A.K. Roshan Atokrale, Sri Lankan Navy. Lieutenant Paul Thomas Boshaw, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Chief Petty Officer Daniel Paul Fayek, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Seamus Koichi Fish, United States Navy. The recipient of the Monterey County Navy League Award for Highest Academic Achievement, graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Aaron Michael Scott Green, United States Navy. Senior Chief Petty Officer Stanley Michael Laskus, United States Navy. Lieutenant Amon James McCary, United States Navy. Master of Science in Cyber Systems and Operations, Lieutenant Ryan Christopher Dishman, United States Navy. Lieutenant Preston Lamont Edwards, United States Navy. Lieutenant Bridget Mall, United States Navy. Lieutenant Duke Wynn, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Chad William Palmer, United States Navy. The recipient of the Fleet Cyber Command Award for Academic Achievement in Cyber Operations with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Michael Gustav Shohom Sercho, United States Navy. Lieutenant Mark William Veazey, United States Navy. Master of Science in Computer Science, the recipient of the Rear Admiral Grace Murray Hopper Computer Science Award, graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Samuel Strelkoff, United States Navy. Master of Science in Network Operations and Technology, the recipient of the Rear Admiral Grace Murray Hopper Information Technology Management Award, Lieutenant Kehinde Adesanya, United States Navy. Lieutenant Ulrich Calvin Codrington, Jr., United States Navy. Lieutenant Kelvin Huntley, United States Navy. Lieutenant Stephanie Robinson, United States Navy. Lieutenant Megan Sylvester, United States Navy. Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, the recipient of the astronaut Michael J. Smith and astronaut William C. McCool Astronautics Award, Lieutenant Commander Kyle Baker, United States Navy. Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Lieutenant Burnell Clemmer, United States Navy. Ensign Austin Charles Douglas, United States Navy. Lieutenant Christopher Ferris, United States Navy. The recipient of the AFCEA John McReynolds Wozencraft Electrical and Computer Engineering Academic Honor Award, Lieutenant Andrew Hahn, United States Navy. Lieutenant Ashley McGee, United States Navy. The recipient of the Surface Navy Association's Award for Excellence in Surface Warfare Research, Lieutenant Dimitri Paspalaris, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander David Reinhardt, United States Navy. Mr. Matthew Vreeland, United States Air Force. Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering, Mr. Angelo Bill Bianchini, Department of Defense. Mr. Michael Stephen Janish, Naval Air Warfare Center, Weapons Division. Mr. Stephen Vo, Naval Air Warfare Center, Weapons Division. Mr. Warren William Weigel, United States Air Force Civilian. Mr. Jaron Larry Williams, Department of Defense. Mr. Chase Allen York, Naval Air Warfare Center, Master of Science in Engineering Acoustics, Ensign Kylie Catherine Bradley, United States Navy. Ensign Sean Matthew Furgiueli, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Ensign Ryan McMullen, United States Navy. Ensign Christian Steicher, United States Navy. Master of Science in Meteorology, First Lieutenant Joshua Quinnett, United States Air Force. Lieutenant Rosalind Eileen Albee, United States Navy. Lieutenant Wesley John Davis, United States Navy. Master of Science in Applied Physics, Lieutenant Junior Grade Walter Andres Canales Herrera, Peruvian Navy. The recipient of the Naval Sea Systems Command Award for Excellence in Combat Systems, Lieutenant Max Cutchin, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Tricia Diem Hoon Nguyen, United States Navy. The recipient of the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory Award for Excellence in Applied Physics Research, Lieutenant David James West, United States Navy. Lieutenant Terrence Orenthal Green, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Jenna Lee Gruber, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Ashley Marcus Milkey, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Kevin James O'Brien, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Vinicius Santos Pesanha, Brazilian Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Jeremy William Sexton, United States Navy. Graduating with distinction, Lieutenant Commander Alana Brianne Youngblood. Master of Business Administration, Acquisitions and Contract Management, Captain Brett Bockenstead, United States Marine Corps. The recipient of the Commander Philip A. Murphy Sweet Memorial Award for Excellence in Acquisition, Captain Paul Kantner, United States Marine Corps. The recipient of the Commander Philip A. Murphy Sweet Memorial Award for Excellence in Acquisition and graduating with distinction, Captain Corey Wayne Letterly, United States Marine Corps. Captain Stephen Lamadou, United States Marine Corps. Captain Ian Alexander Netzel, United States Marine Corps. Captain Richard Quintanilla, United States Marine Corps. Major Michael Cypress Agbe, United States Army. Major Kevin Michael Landreth, United States Army. Lieutenant Edward Arca, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Matthew Carroll, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Jamie Downer, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander J. Harrison Hughes, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Eric Steinwand, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Captain Dory Almonte, United States Air Force. Captain Jenny Araune, United States Air Force. Captain Aaron Taylor Ashley, United States Air Force. Captain Daniel Carrillo, United States Air Force. The recipient of the Assistant Secretary of the Air Force Acquisition Award for Academic Excellence, graduating with distinction, Captain Joshua Dillon Sissel, United States Air Force. Captain Alex Cordell, United States Air Force. Captain Robert Hollister, United States Air Force. Captain Spencer Thomas Jacobson, United States Air Force. Captain Brooke Rubley, United States Air Force. Master of Business Administration, Systems Acquisition Management, Lieutenant Nicholas Mann, United States Navy. Graduating Master of Science in Management, Defense Systems Analysis, graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Major Patrick McElroy, United States Marine Corps. Major Alexander Mora, United States Marine Corps. Captain Kelsey Hassan, United States Army. The recipient of the Graduate School of Defense Management Faculty Outstanding International Student Award, Lieutenant Colonel Timo Kokoti, Finnish Defense Forces. Master of Business Administration, Supply Chain Management, with an outstanding thesis, Captain Austin Winkler, United States Army. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Thad Brill, Jr., United States Navy. Lieutenant Joseph Prentice Davis, United States Navy. The recipient of the Naval Supply Systems Command Award for Academic Excellence Management, Lieutenant Commander Wesley Hahn, United States Navy. Lieutenant Jose Carrasco Mora, Columbia Navy. Captain Danny Paulson, United States Marine Corps. Lieutenant Commander William Agbo, United States Navy. Lieutenant Grant Gagnon, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Andrew George Galusis, United States Navy. Lieutenant Nassim Hawashem, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Daniel Miller, United States Coast Guard. Master of Business Administration, Financial Management, Captain Jennifer Altman, United States Marine Corps. Major Lee Aubrey Boyce, United States Marine Corps. Captain Andrew Schweers, United States Marine Corps. Captain Andres Zuniga, United States Marine Corps. The recipient of the Rear Admiral Thomas R. McClellan Award for Academic Excellence in the Graduate School of Defense Management, Lieutenant Commander Michael Bartoff, United States Navy. Lieutenant John Blankenship, United States Navy. Commander Luis D'Antonio, United States Navy. Lieutenant Nicholas Everhart, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander John Fuller, United States Navy. Lieutenant Caitlin Marie George, United States Navy. The recipient of the Distinguished Professor Kenneth J. Yuski Dean's Medal for Innovative Contribution to National Defense with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Joseph Gerard Jablonski, United States Navy. Lieutenant Terry McLean Miller, United States Navy. The recipient of the Department of the Navy Award for Academic Excellence in Financial Management, graduating with distinction, Lieutenant James Orr, United States Navy. The recipient of the Distinguished Professor Kenneth J. Yuski Dean's Medal for Innovative Contribution to National Defense with an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Richard Rodriguez, United States Navy. Lieutenant Marcos Rodriguez, United States Navy. Lieutenant Commander Tobin Rolandhagen, United States Navy. Lieutenant Amanda Inez Rose, United States Navy. Lieutenant Tom Wetham, United States Navy. The recipient of the Conrad Scholar Award for Distinguished Academic Achievement in Financial Management, Lieutenant Commander Joseph Trent Giordano, United States Navy Reserve. Lieutenant Elia Jeremy Ledbetter, United States Navy Reserve. Master of Science in Management Manpower Systems Analysis, the recipient of the Graduate School of Defense Management Faculty Outstanding International Student Award, Lieutenant Commander Stephen Paul Cole, Australian Navy. Master of Business Administration Information Systems Management, Major Vladislav Anatoly Scotts, United States Army. Lieutenant Commander Eduardo Nichols, United States Navy. With an outstanding thesis, Lieutenant Commander Purifat Surarajiraj, United States Navy. Master of Business Administration, Acquisition and Contract Management, Captain Lindsay Placencio, United States Air Force. Master of Defense Analysis, graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Major Jeremiah Daniel King, United States Air Force. Master of Business Administration, Financial Management, Lieutenant Commander Terry Ann Belinsky, United States Navy. Master of Business Administration, Material Logistics Support Management, the recipient of the Rear Admiral Donald R. Eaton Logistics Award for Outstanding Achievement, graduating with distinction and an outstanding thesis, Captain Lauren Barrett Bobson, United States Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Chaplain Girolamo, Commander United States Navy, will now give the benediction.
That's okay. Let us pray. Our God of grace and mercy, you inspire all who trust in you with the encouraging words, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." May these graduates endeavor as leaders to pursue excellence in all their work, granting them continued success in the days ahead. May the light of your Son and the life of your Spirit bless us now with renewed confidence and peace. Work in us and through us that which is pleasing in your sight. May blessed be your name now and forever. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony. On behalf of the President, Provost, and all of us at the Naval Postgraduate School, I'd like to once again thank you for being here today. We offer our sincere appreciation to the Naval Postgraduate School Color Guard and the Del Monte Brass. Please remain clear of the aisles until the platform party and faculty have departed. President Rondeau and Provost Lehrman cordially invite graduates, faculty, and guests to a reception in honor of the graduates in the Barbara McNitt Ballroom of the Del Monte Hotel immediately following the ceremony. Maestro.